Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm Andy Signor, and I'm curious. Did you make the move to Spotify when Joe Rogan made the switch? I want to know down below in the comments as you're watching this video, tell me, how did you used to watch the Joe Rogan Experience? Was it YouTube, iTunes, whatever? And have you now followed and listened regularly over on Spotify? Personally, I find the viewing experience clunky, and I actually preferred to watch the show rather than listen to the show. So that's part of the reason why I probably haven't translated over to Spotify. Even though I have Spotify, I love Spotify for music, but I just don't get into podcasts. When I listen to long form stuff, I watch streams and stuff on YouTube. But I'm curious, for research sake, tell me down in the comments as you're watching this, what did you do? Did you follow it? It seems like he must have lost a lot of viewers. And I'm going to show you how his YouTube channel has been affected now that it's only displaying clips instead of the full show. But before I get there, I want to share an interesting comment about why he left YouTube. Now, obviously, the multi-million-dollar deal is a big reason, but that's not actually apparently what the major reason was for forcing his move over to Spotify. He had Tulsi Gabbard on recently, and he shared a story about it. So let me read his words. It's a weird time when someone can just decide that they don't like you or what you're doing is problematic. It's one of the reasons why I went to Spotify. It's because they had a vested interest in me succeeding. Like, instead of worrying about me being pulled from their network, it's not that I never really worried about that with YouTube, but it's always possible. And there were some weird shenanigans they would do with demonetizing specific episodes just randomly, and we would question it. I'm going to keep going on his comments, but I want to pause there for a second because, yes, it's nice to know that even Joe Rogan, someone at that high of a level, experiences the same problems that I and every other YouTube faces, which is demonetization, limited ads, et cetera, et cetera. It's a ridiculous process that YouTube has where I even have this warning that I put up sometimes when I know I'm talking about a topic that I ask my human reviewer, please review my video fairly. But the fact that that's what we have to do just to get a fair shot on this platform is insane, especially when you're someone like Joe Rogan who is at such a high level and established a brand. Like, yes, the show's live, so anything can happen, but he's not doing anything crazy. He's just listening to people. YouTube should know at that point, all right, give him a pass. He's not doing something so outlandish that we should be worried for brands. And brands that are attached to him should know. But the problem is Google obviously doesn't like fully put the brands near the videos they've bought. Sometimes it's just random and based off of the genre that an advertiser has purchased. So it's a problem that happens now to clearly the biggest of people. And it's refreshing and still frustrating, but at least refreshing to know everybody, even if when you're getting millions and millions and millions of views, even they have this problem. But clearly that's part of the reasons. He was just getting frustrated by it. It's a way of censoring people without censoring people, because you say, oh, were you guys talking about that? Oh, yeah, we can't put ads on that. Oh, did you guys swear? Oh, yeah, well, we're going to have to demonetize that. It's so infuriating. And to echo what Joe's saying in his frustration, I can't even tell you, if I say a certain word, even a word of a certain group that is you'd think is totally okay to say, no, they police certain words and keywords. A lot of you probably even know this, but as I've become more and more involved trying to figure out how to work the system, you quickly learn you just have to be very careful in the words you say. And someone like Joe Rogan, who's doing a 4-hour stream, he can't just clip it all out. One bad word on a 4-hour stream demonetizes the whole stream, and then suddenly he's out tens of thousands of dollars on a video that should have given him pure revenue, but now won't. But meanwhile, YouTube can still profit off of having him there and figure out other methods to take advantage of the fact that he's there. But by limiting the exposure of the video, it's exactly what Joe's saying here. It's censoring people without censoring people. It's limiting the exposure and the monetization, but still getting the content on their platform. It's a really messed up thing. If they were actually just pulling content until it was not limited, I'd almost prefer it, because currently it's so broken that if I literally just did this on my Hugging the Cactus channel. I posted a video and then I realized oh crap, it's green for go and then yellow for limited. And when a video gets stamped limited by the monetization police, the automated AI system, the artificial intelligence that Google has, which is insane, once they make that decision, then you get the green for go, which means you're all good, or the yellow, which means nope, this isn't advertiser friendly. You can still have your video up, but we're not going to put ads on it, and it's clear they're not going to spread it out as widely as some of your other videos. Now, limited videos can still go viral and still spread out there, especially if it's someone like Joe Rogan and the audience is looking for those videos and sharing those videos. It happens organically, even when YouTube is attempting to buffer it. Doesn't matter. Sometimes a video can still succeed, but they're not going to get the full monetization, which is frustrating. So I had it happen the other day where it was green, post the video, and then out of nowhere, it's limited. And so I have to hit review. And I'm sure Joe Rogan, Jamie, his team have the same. You hit that review, and it can take a whole day for them to get back to you. And that is frustrating because now you're, for Joe Rogan, you're 1 million views over, which 1 million views on his channel, especially at a length like that, literally can be in the tens of thousands of dollars in theory, depending on how many ads he's placed and what kind of CPM, and I imagine it was high. Tens of thousands of dollars per video that he's now not monetizing because someone was like, yeah, you said the word, I'm not even going to say it because my video won't get the $10 that I would get normally. But I can imagine I know how frustrating it is for me. I can only imagine being at that level where you think, shouldn't I be above this? And the platform's like, nope, sorry, we don't even care that you're Joe Rogan. So this makes a total... I always assume this, but it's nice to hear him finally open up and share some of this. There was a lot of weird stuff like that. They're great overall, but the arbitrary decisions are often done by people that work there. Someone has the ability to decide whether you make money off of something or whether you don't make money off of something. It's not a primary concern, but it points to an issue, and the issue is someone being able to dictate what you can or can't talk about, or someone incentivizing you to talk about something or not talk about something. I don't want to be a part of that. Bravo, dude. He's spot on the money. Interestingly, the rumors are that Spotify has been still censoring him. He's denied this, says they're a great company. Very open-minded, but fans are bugging him to come back to YouTube. Go back to YouTube. It's easier. YouTube was more convenient. Facts. But it's not happening anytime soon. He signed a multi-year deal. Why? To echo his face right here, why would he give that up? He clearly left the platform for these clear reasons because he was frustrated over there. And now he doesn't have to be as frustrated. But I want to share this because, as I said, so here's how Joe Rogan was doing. I mean, these views, this revenue, he was doing insanely well. Very, 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 very well. I did a previous video where I broke some of this down. But what's became more interesting here is literally after the month, bam. I mean, holy moly. Look at that. That's a loss of 1 billion views. I mean, am I doing the math? Look at that. Negative 1.8 billion video views loss. How is that possible? Maybe I'm even reading this wrong. Here he's making 96, and now he's negative 96 million, and now he's negative 1.8 billion. I mean, you can see it here go down too. So his subscriber growth, which was always pretty high. Now, boom, 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 hundreds of thousands down than what he used to get. So his YouTube traction has just now stalled tremendously, and it's going to affect him. Now, could that change easily when he comes back? Sure. When he's more active again and it'll help. But YouTube has clearly now noticed and slowed down his algorithm. Still making money, but it's not the same kind of money he was making. When you go to the channel, you can see it here. Granted, these are new videos. It's unfair to judge. But depending on the guest, obviously, and the topic, sometimes, they still are cracking it here. But the difference is the fact that he put this on the Joe Rogan Experience channel. This was a channel that was making millions of views every episode for a 4-hour long-form piece of content. And so it's interesting to watch if you're into this digital YouTube stuff and data. Now he's turned it from long-form, super long-form engaged content to short-form, less engaged content. And that will really muck up your algorithm if you're not careful. Now, he's tracking okay, but as you can see in sort of the in the overall trajectory, these are huge downturns because the views increase when you do a longer video. Long-form content, if you can succeed with long-form content, always the win. You get multiple ads, so you don't just get one. A video has to be 8 minutes for you to get that mid-roll, and you can put then as many as you want. Otherwise, you only get the pre-roll and an end roll if you're lucky. When you're longer than 8 minutes on YouTube, you can fill in more. And so when you're streaming for 2 to 4 hours, think of all the ads you can place in. In fact, what a good reminder for me to place another ad. Did you get it? Did you get one? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments down below. But that's how we got to live, right? Now, Joe Rogan, even if he had one big limited video, he could still survive. But man, I get frustrated when my video here that would get me 10, 20 bucks is limited. And I'll tell you, it happened to me. I did a video about Tom Hanks. I'm not going to say what the topic was about Tom Hanks. You can make your own guesses. Made on me almost 1 million views. That should have done really well for me and helped pay my bills. But no, YouTube limited it. But the topic was so like clicky and people want that content that they're able to like get your views, use you on the platform, but not pay you for it because they deem it, you know what? You can't have this conversation. Even though I said nothing against the terms of service. And I even reviewed that video, did it through the review process, and they still were like, nope. He's so arbitrary, as Joe says. He's so spot on the money. One human reviewer makes the call whether you monetize on the platform or not. So look, I get it. I get why he left. I see why he's over on Spotify. Good for him. He took the money, and now he gets a platform that believes in him. We'll see if he really enjoys that and if it stays that way. But what did you do? And what do you think of that move? Again, if you haven't already, tell me down below or hit me up. Did you go to Spotify? Are you still watching him there? Are you only listening to him there? I'd love for us to be able to, and that way other people watching can go check the comments as well. How are you guys supporting him still or not at all? Let us know in the comments so we can sort of see that data and make some more decisions from it. In the meanwhile, if you haven't subscribed here, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot. In fact, if you hit that bell, it helps too. Just check if you're subscribed. Sometimes YouTube tells you are and you're not. And that's the beauty of this platform. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Planet. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're live. We'll be live tonight, 9:30, live Eastern Standard Time.